Thank you, Ryan, for having us as we talk about an entrepreneurial journey. The South Haven Region Business Hub has been together for about 2 years, and there's about 30 of us who are volunteers, subject matter expert, like this lovely lady sitting next to me, Cheri Bales with Hannah Gold Communications, is our marketing social media guru. And Chalet Sturgeon started Local Pour about 3 years ago, and we had the pleasure of working with her and helping her business get up and going. So today's focus is on marketing, so I'm going to let these two take that away.
Cheri, there are multiple different ways to reach your identified target market. What are the top 3 things that you say will make the biggest impact for that target reach?
I love that question, Ryan. Number one, though, let's identify what target audience means for our viewers. A target audience is those customers who you have identified as being a perfect match for your business. So not everyone in the entire world is your target audience. Let's just get that out there. So once you have identified that target audience, I have a sort of a kitchen stool analogy for what tools are most urgent and most important for a small business. Number one is usually a website, but it takes a while to get to that stage, and a website can take a long time to build out. But if you picture the seat of a kitchen stool as your website, it holds up all the stuff. So you want to have everything you can possibly have your website standardized so that your brand is the same everywhere, whatever the name of your company is. We're laughing because we've done this together. So the website is the seat. And then the first leg down from that stool that supports your marketing plan is most likely a Facebook page. Most likely it's useless at this point. I'll be honest. Sorry, Facebook. Probably get in jail again. But you have to have it. It's kind of a credentialing thing. What some people fear with Facebook is people will not follow them, they'll not like them, and they're worried about their reach, about how many people they reach on a daily basis. And we had this conversation with Jamie. Mm-hmm. Basically, it's not about who you reach, it's about the percentage of your followers that you reach. So I try to talk to people about how having a Facebook is important, but not getting hung up on vanity metrics also is important. So that's the first leg down from the stool. The second leg down from the stool can be your Instagram, which I don't like working in, but a lot of people do. And Instagram is a great platform for places like Chalet. We'll have her talk about that in just one minute second. But that second leg down then for me is going to be a Google business profile. And one of the things that we worked on with Chalet and her general manager, Jamie, was they had a Google business profile page. And it used to be called Google My Business. Before that it was Google Plus, and nobody liked it. So they switched to business, and then they've just recently changed the name and the whole platform. But a Google My Business profile is that little card, that little info card that shows up when you're driving around and you type in tasting room near me. And you see her information, and you click on that little button, and it goes right to the website, or it goes to wait list, or it goes to any number of wonderful journeys. The problem most people have is they know it exists, but they don't know the power of it, Ryan. And what we did with Jamie was we went through and we helped set up her entire platform, so every button is maximized, every action is fulfilled, lots of pictures. And then I said, you know what, just for fun, let's look at your analytics, because all these platforms come with data attached. And I love data. I'm a data nerd. Websites has Google Analytics. Facebook has Facebook Insights. Google Business Profile has Google Business Profile Insights. And I said, let's just look and see. So we pulled up the traffic to the Google Business Profile from both Google Search and Google Maps, because they're combined now. And they had 900 requests for directions to their place of business in 30 days, in the past 30 days. And this wasn't even high season. It was like February or something. So Google Business, second leg down. Third leg down, depending on the type of business you are, and we were just talking about this, if you're a business to business or you're a service business industry, you want a presence on LinkedIn. And the only reason to have a company page on LinkedIn, in my humble opinion, is to have a cute little logo next to your business experience in your personal profile, rather than a series of gray boxes. There's not a lot that happens on a Google business page. It's a good repository for long format content. If you publish a blog story or a story about wine and tasting, and you put that on your website, then that also becomes a good repository. So you can add a fourth leg to that stool if you want. Some people will add direct marketing. If it were a fourth leg for me, and we talked about this, it'd be email marketing. And that's because we so often forget the bottom of the funnel, those loyal buyers, and they're our easiest to get back audience.
All right, Chalet, now it's your turn. So tell me a little bit, what do you do and what is Local Pour?
Thanks, Ryan. Well, Local Pour is an all Michigan tasting room. I have to say that slow because a lot of people think I'm saying Amish tasting room, but it's not an Amish tasting room. It's an all Michigan tasting room. So my general manager, Jamie, and I have put together what we feel is the best representation of Michigan wines, beers, ciders, and craft cocktails, spirits. So we invite people to come and try what Michigan has to offer.
I love it. That's awesome. So how long ago did you get this endeavor going?
Well, I bought the building in June of 2020 in the middle of COVID, and it was very scary. It was quite a leap of faith to do something like this, but the building had a beautiful bar, had 2 liquor licenses, and was right on Red Arrow Highway in Sawyer. So it took me a year to get it going, but in that year I met some wonderful people, including Debi Howe, who has been my biggest cheerleader. I wouldn't be sitting here today without her. She encouraged me to write a business plan. She put me in touch with a lot of amazing people to help me get to where I am today. So we've been open for 2 years, and we're just getting better. So I'm very excited about what the future has.
Love it. What would you say in the last 2 years has been your biggest challenge that you've had to go against?
Surviving a Sawyer winter, because we are 12 miles from the Indiana state line and we are driven by tourists. And we have still to this day 80% of our customer base is out-of-staters. So I needed a way to get the local people into Local Pour to support me during the wintertime when things get real lean. One of the things we did was have live music every Saturday. We started adding things like karaoke. We do Wine Education Wednesday. One Wednesday a month we bring in a winemaker, or we do a horizontal tasting where we find 5 different Chardonnays from all over Michigan and discuss that. But to get that out, I needed more marketing. When we started talking to Cheri, she really helped us ramp up what we were doing, and I totally appreciate that.
Love it. And with that, the next one's going to be, what would you say is your biggest success to date?
Wow. Okay, so that's probably twofold. One of the things is when people come in, new people into the business, we introduce them, we do a wine tasting or a beer flight or cocktails, and they say, wow, this place is great. We'll definitely be back and bring friends. But Local Pour also won Southwest Michigan Chamber of Commerce Best New Business Award this last year, and that was a big shock. It was amazing. It was voted on live with 300 of our peers, and that just blew me away.
Congratulations, that is very incredible.
Thank you.
All right, so you've had 2 years of challenges and successes. What would you say right now to a business owner or potential business owners? What is your number 1 or 2, 3 points of advice you'd give them?
Well, start with a business plan, for sure. Come up with scenarios, find a mentor, find somebody who's done this before, talk to them, get all the information you possibly can, and be consistent with your marketing. Post, let people know what you're doing, that you're out there. Keep on the forefront constantly. I see several other businesses that I talk to that are struggling because they are not consistent with their marketing. So that is so important. Find somebody like Cheri, who's amazing, who will be your cheerleader, who will help you out, give you advice, tell you if you're not doing something right. But that would be my biggest thing right there.
Awesome. Okay, Cheri, same question for you. What advice do you have for small businesses starting out and they want a good brand and a good website to be found?
So, great question. just what she said. Get a business plan, get a mentor, look for free business support. We have the SBA, we have the SBDC here in Southwest and in Southeastern Michigan. So there are a lot of opportunities for free, I don't want to call it hand-holding, but that's what you need when you first start.
Cheerleading.
Yeah, cheerleading, that's a better word for it. So get that mentor, but writing a business plan is twofold. And the SBA, I actually did a short business plan workshop for the SBA in the spring, and people are overwhelmed by the templates. But if you can't answer all of the questions on the business plan, you might not be ready to start a business. Because if you want funding ever, you're going to have to answer all those questions and fill in all those blanks. So doing a business plan really lets your lender, lets your mentor, lets the landlord that you want to lease from, lets them know that you're serious about your business. So that's always number one for me.
Nice. Well, Cheri, like I asked Chalet, what do you think is one of the most underutilized tools you could do for your business, and why is that?
Probably, Ryan, I'm going to go back to Google Business Profile. If you are a retail business, you have a brick and mortar site, or you're a service industry business, you work out of your home and you use your home address as your business address, you need a Google Business Profile to be found. A Google Business Profile works with both Google Maps and Google Search now. And so it kind of makes sense, since Google is the number one search engine in the world. It's almost number 2 now. But number 1, you need to play in their sandbox. You need to use their tools. The Google Business Profile, if you can't have a website up and running, the Google Business Profile would be a great addition to your marketing before that point. So you do want to put your website on there eventually, but you're allowed to put in about sections, services sections, product sections, affiliation sections. You can really dig in. You can add a bunch of photos. So the process goes something like this. You search for your name of your company on Google. And while we talk about this, we'll talk about branding and name, address, phone. So you search for the business name on Google just as it appears on your business license, LLC, DBA, whatever. If you find it and you click it and it says, do you own this business? You say yes. That's the startup process for claiming a business profile. And then it walks you through all of the next steps. If you type in your business name and it doesn't show up the way you typed it in, try typing it in a couple different ways, because if you have not created your own Google Business Profile, the Google world has already done one for you based on the number of people searching for your business. So if you haven't got it by the reins, Google's got it by the reins, and you want to claim that Google page as soon as you can. And if you do search for your business and you find it's a name and you find that it's owned by someone else, you really do have to go to them or else report and close that business. That Google Business Profile is what shows up when people are typing on their desktop and they say, Taylor near me. And the Google knows, and your computer knows, that you are in zip code 49090, and it says, oh, there's a Taylor 2.5 miles from you. This is the most powerful local search tool small businesses have available to allow people to actually find their business and potentially order online, buy now, click to get directions, or call now, or visit website. So all of those calls to action. And then there's a whole update section, which is like posting to Facebook, only less frequently, and people forget about that as well.
Awesome. Okay, quick question. What is the best way to keep in contact with the clients you already have?
Funny you should ask.
Yeah.
We were just having this conversation before we went live about how do we stay in touch with, her problem was local clients, local customers.
Yes.
And one of the ways that I advise people to do that type of local marketing is through email marketing. And when I say email marketing, the first thing that she responds is, we have a quarterly newsletter. Okay, that's a newsletter. And newsletters and email marketing are different. Email marketing is not a letter from the editor, a note about the department of this, and that's not what yours is. Yours is really good. I've seen it. But when business owners hear email marketing, they think a newsletter. They think they have to write a lot of content, and that's absolutely not true. But the way that a newsletter can help a small business is, I imagine most of the business people who are watching this have heard the adage, it's easier to get a customer you already have to spend more than it is to go get a new customer. That's exactly what email marketing is for. So what have been your experiences with it?
Well, we use it primarily for newsletters because we do have a database and we let them know what events are coming up, that we have music, we're doing Meet the Winemaker and this is who we're having, or we're trying to work on our wine club, different things like that. But I do like what we were talking about earlier, that this is something we need to use more. Doesn't cost you any money, just a little time, right?
Right. Well, and I think we talked about the important part of that being, we need to make our mailing list, our database, feel special. These are customers. The people in here, we know, we might have gotten them from LinkedIn, we could talk about that, but we know these people. They're our friends and our neighbors and our referral sources. An email marketing to that target audience, it can be segmented, really makes them feel special. Let's say you give them we were talking about early admission to maybe a half hour early live music and meet the musician, or an early private red tie, black tie tasting. But it's just for those email members, and it really is a way to keep them as your ambassadors, talking about you and sharing that newsletter out. So, but those events, absolutely, that's one of the best ways to let people know. And weekly, if you can get to it.
Right.
How many emails a week do you get from Dave's barbecue place? I mean, right.
Dave's busy.
Yeah.
Okay. Final advice that you would give a young entrepreneur, an older entrepreneur, any entrepreneur out there?
Okay, my final advice would be consistent. Be consistent with your marketing plan and ask for help. Use mentors. There are so many great resources out there that can help you, that want to help you, and that will really accentuate your business by leaps and bounds. But consistency, 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 that's what I would say.
And I'm going to roll right past that with name, address, phone number. When you develop a name for your business, just tell us what it is. I see Hot Stone, and I have no idea what that is. Is that like a pizza oven place? Or turns out it's a yoga place. And don't get cutesy with your name with the spelling. Don't put a Q in the middle of the name if it doesn't really belong there for your business, or any kind of weird accent marks, because here's the key. People are going to look for you by your name, and if you can get a URL that actually says what you do, if you're a service business, has your name in it somehow, but if it's hot yoga, say hot yoga, and then I'll know what your business is. So many times I see businesses that are named really abstractly, and then they can't buy the URL either. So you need to look to see if your name is already taken by someone at LARA, Licensing and Regulatory Agency, and then check a GoDaddy or a name.com to see if the URL you want is actually available. And then I actually bought CheriBales.com. You have one yet? I got DebiHowe.com. So yeah,
We'll talk later on that.
Yeah. But no, make sure that you're not being too cutesy, so that people can actually find your business and know what it is that you do.
Love it. And Deb?
I want to thank these two for joining us today, for sharing their experiences and their journey. And just remind everybody, we are the South Haven Region Business Hub. Go to our website. There's all this material that's on there about a business startup checklist. Everything that Cheri talked about is right on there with the correct links. And if you need any expertise, there's a list of them hosted on that website, as well as just get in contact with us. Say, I'm looking for a subject matter expert that can help me on this journey with starting or growing a business. So thank you too. Come see us. We're here to help, and we are free.
Chalet, Cheri, Deb, as always, thank you very much for your great advice. This helps out so many people who are looking to do something, and I think this is going to give awareness and bring people in to do something. I think you're going to see some nice things come out of this.
I think so.
Thank you,
Thank
Ryan.
you.
Thank you.